Hello, my wonderful students. This is Miss Z, and I'm going to give you a quick rundown about how to start your research. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you're very organized. There's nothing more horrible than finding the perfect article that goes with your research project and then losing it. So you want to go to your Google Drive and make a new folder. You're going to call it Passion Project or your research project, whatever you want to call it. Just have that folder in your Google Drive. Once you get that folder done, inside the folder, I want you to make a new Google Doc. This is where you're going to store the links to your research, all the information that you find, your works cited, things like that. So I might call this my works cited or my resources, something like that. And this is where I'll put the citations that you will find as you're researching. Also, within this folder, I'm going to put any PDFs that I find so that everything is all in one spot. There are several different ways that you can research. The first way is using Google Scholar. I like Google Scholar because it's pretty simple to use. If you type it in up here, Google Scholar, you can grab it. And you'll notice that it's a little bit different than the regular Google, and that's because you're going to get different results with this one. So for this, we're looking for articles. All right, let's say that my research question is, what is the most significant effect of global melting on lives of penguins in Antarctica? I'm going to use some of those words to try to find articles about that. So I might say effect of glacial melting, and then put penguins in there. When I press enter, it will come up with all of these sources. Now you notice over here, it will say if there's a PDF and where you can get it from. Sometimes if you click on the PDF, it's going to block you from opening it up, and sometimes it will let you completely open it up. In this case, I was able to get it open and access it. And as I'm looking through it, I want to read the abstract first to make sure that it's even going to have something to do with what I'm researching. It looks like here, let's see, this is a experiment about the habitat alterations, changes in populations, and first we assess models using this climate change panel. Second, we analyzed and compromised model ensemble. Third, we considered studies of ancient colonies. So this looks like something that I might be able to use. So what I will do is download it and put it into my Google Drive. In order to do that, you're going to download it. I'm going to call this Penguin Study. When I show it in my folder, it will come up. Right there it is. So once you get it downloaded, what you're going to do is pull it in, drag and drop into your folder so that you can keep that PDF there, because I'm going to read it and do my notes on it later, but I want to make sure that I don't lose that. Here's the citation generator right here. Google Scholar, you can click on that and it will give you the citation and all the different styles. How awesome is that? So I would just click on this, copy and paste that onto my works cited. In order to find this again, I'm going to need the website, and it's not in the citation because this probably came from a journal or something. So I'm going to put the website on there where that came from. When I turn this citation page in officially, I'm not going to have that on there because this is all I need to cite that article, but this is where I can find it directly. You'll notice in this search that I have 15,200 results. That's a lot of results to sift through. I'm going to probably want to minimize my results a little bit. Maybe I want more current things. So I'm going to go over here and look between the date range from 2015 to 2021 and see if that narrows my search results. You'll notice that even though the articles are somewhat similar, it did narrow it down to 5,360 articles. So that might be helpful as I'm paging through these articles. Also, you'll notice that it's not only PDFs that I have come up with, it's also websites. This one specifically is on a website. It's about the overlooking threat of the Antarctic krill. Now, I'm focused on penguins, so I'm probably not going to use that one. This one looks interesting. A new colony is revealed because of the snowmelt. And then I'm going to go back and keep searching. Google Scholar is really good in finding scholarly articles and finding books sometimes and websites as well. Much better than just regular Google. You can also add things to your library. So let's say that I want to add this one to my library. I would star it. And then when I go to my library, that's going to be there for me so that I also have a list. Let's say you forget to get the citation or you forget to put it on your list of resources, then you'll have it saved for later. So that's a quick rundown of Google Scholar. You can also do advanced searches. If you click on advanced, you can find articles with all words, exact phrases, at least one of these words without these words. You can narrow it down by who authored it, who published it, and the date. So it depends on how specific you want to be with your research. Let's say that my first research query didn't bring up anything that was relevant. I might go into advanced search and say, I want all of these words. So if I want to search penguin global warming, I would put that in there. Now I have 53,900 results, so it's quite a bit more, but you can see that those words are in here. Also, you'll see some books pop up. Books are okay to use as long as you can find it online and you don't have to buy it. So here is this book is on Google Books, and I can read it and see if it's relevant to what I'm trying to research. View the ebook. Okay, so I think what this is doing is it's making me buy the ebook. I don't want to do that. So, and there's plenty of stuff that's free, so I'm not going to use that. And then I would go on with more searching and looking through these resources. The other thing that you can do if you find an article that you really like, look at the related articles. Let's say this one is something that I'm going to use for sure. If I pull up related articles, it will have stuff that's more specific that relates to that article. And maybe I can find more things that way as well. That's Google Scholar. It's pretty simple to use. Your other option is using the search engines that we have access to because you go to an HISD school, and those are going to be on the hub. So you'll log into the hub, you'll go into digital resources, log in with Active Directory, and at that point you will be in the digital resources. Once you get into the hub's resources, you want to scroll down to library references, then go to the Gale database. This will open up several different databases that you have access to through Westside. You're going to scroll all the way down here and go to Westside. Where are we at? There we are. And you'll see here it opens up to all of these databases. The other thing that I want you to notice about each one of these databases is that it tells you an overview of what you're going to find in the database. For example, this one will be peer-reviewed scholarly articles similar to what you're finding on Google Scholar. This one is ebooks. This one's magazines and journal articles. This one is interesting. It's called Opposing Viewpoints, and it's for hot issues. So if any of your research is being done on current topics, that one would be a great database to check out. This one's specifically for science. This one's for news. So you want to make sure that you're searching a database that's going to be helpful in relation to what you are researching. Since we're researching about penguins and global warming, I'm going to go into the science one. If it asks you for a password, because sometimes it will, use the word Astros, lowercase Astros. This one, it didn't ask me for this time, probably because I've signed in before. And then I'm going to search penguins, global warming. If I don't get much back from that, then change the way that you word it. So I have 3 audio files about what's going on. Studying ice, researchers discover huge penguin colony. Oh, that's similar to one of the other ones that we saw. Giant penguin fossils found in Peru. That's probably not going to be relevant. So the way that it has it split up is really cool. You have audio files, you have news files, academic journals, magazines. Let's see what this one's about. All right, let's say that I want this one. After I read through it, it's got some stuff in it that I can use. Here's my citation right here. So I'm going to grab that and put that into my works cited. Notice up here, you can change it to different versions. We're doing APA, so I'm going to grab that one. Once again, that will be based on your teacher's discretion. There you go. Got that in there. And then I want to make sure that I add this to my Google Drive so you can export it just specifically to your Google Drive, and it will have you sign in order to do that. I could also copy and paste this into a file. I can download it as well. So there's lots of options here on saving this. There's also over here related subjects, more like this, as far as related articles. So make sure that you're using these tools, especially if you're having a hard time finding anything relevant when you search. This database also has an advanced search feature, similar to what Google had, where you can say, I want to search for penguins and I want to search for global warming, possibly climate change. And then I'm going to press search and see what that pulls up. All right. Once again, though, this database is only going to be useful if you are looking for something scientific. If not, then you're not going to want to use that database. You might want to come over here and use opposing viewpoints or something in the news. Once again, if it asks for a password, Astros is the word that you want to put in there. Each one of these has an advanced search, just like what I just showed you. They're pretty much the same layout, so it should be pretty user-friendly once you get in here. You also have some access to databases at houstonlibrary.org, so go to that website, and then you're going to click on Research, All Databases. Some of these might be similar to the ones that you have access to through the hub, but some of them may be different. So we're going to put our keywords in here that we're searching for and see what we have access to. So there's a full PDF text. You can also download it fully. Sometimes you may not be able to. This is a full PDF. All of these look like that you can download. Shrinking World of Penguins. That one might be interesting. So I can get the full text here, and it's going to make me sign in for full access. To sign in, this is what you're going to do. Let me pull up that information for you. As an HISD student, you're going to use the first initial of your last name, followed by your student ID number. So, for example, if your name is John Smith, you would use S, followed by your ID number. So it would look like this. Your PIN number is your month and date of birth. So if you need to write that down really quickly, go ahead and pause this video and you can do that. I'm going to try with my username and password. Once you sign in, then you will have access to this document. You can see if this is something you want to use. If it is, your citation is right here, so it makes it super easy for you. You can grab that citation in whatever format you want. You can also add it to your Google Drive. Very, very easy. There's also an advanced search. You can go back to search, and you can also track your search history if you're signed in. So it's very important that you get signed in. I want to also make sure that I have the citation. So right here is the source of where it was taken from. These are the authors. This is the title. So this is the information that I'm going to use for the citation. Sometimes it will give you the citation so that you don't have to generate it yourself. Sometimes it does not, as in this case. So in that case, what I will do is find a citation machine. Now, there are several different ways that you can cite it. There's MLA, APA. It just depends on what your teacher is wanting you to do. Different colleges do different things. This one is a pretty good one. It's called Citation Machine, and you're going to go to Create Citations. In the Citation Generator, I'm going to choose Journal because that's where it came from. I'm going to copy and paste the title of the article. Then you'll see some results. This one right here is the exact title. I'm going to check to make sure that it's the same author. And yes, it is. So then I'm going to click Cite. Click Continue. It will ask you if you want to pay or if you want to watch an ad. I'm going to watch an ad. So it should let me do that. Then it's going to have the citation that you can check to make sure that everything is correct. In this case, it has everything that it needs. And I'm going to click Complete Citation. Sometimes it will make you watch the ad before you actually click on the citation, but then I'm going to copy the citation and copy and paste it on my works cited page. Once I'm finished, I will put the works cited page into alphabetical order with all the different citations. But right now I just need a collection of the citations that I'm finding so that I know where I got my information. Once you have your sources on your sheet, make sure and put it in alphabetical order. To turn in your works cited page, it needs to be all lined up and formatted correctly, as well as in alphabetical order by last name. I also wouldn't keep this website here. I would get rid of that because it's not a part of the citation that was generated from that source. And that wraps up this quick overview of researching. If you run across any problems and you need any help, please let me know. You can stop by office hours or send me an email and I will be sure to help you. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure and do so and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing.